Hello and welcome to Never Seen It, a podcast about movies we haven't seen yet. My name is Trent. I'm here with my wife, Betsy.
Hi there.
Today, we're on to part 3 of our Twilight Saga marathon.
The halfway point.
Sure, why not? So, today's movie is called Twilight Eclipse.
The Twilight Saga.
The Twilight
Eclipse.
Saga, Eclipse. I don't actually know what it's called, but
It's
okay.
2010's Eclipse.
2010, it's called Eclipse, guys. It's number 3. Betsy, what the hell? Why are we still doing this?
Because you said so. And we're too far now. We must keep going.
We have to keep going.
Yes.
There's no stopping us. Even ourselves cannot stop us.
No.
So let's kind of recap what we have learned so far. If you're just joining us, Jesus Christ, what the hell are you doing?
Why are you jumping in the middle,
Why are you
weirdo?
jumping in the middle? What's wrong with you? Anyway, go back and listen to the first 2 episodes of this here series. It's the 2 that came right before this one because we're doing it all at the same time. Oh, God. But when last we left our Edward and Bella and Jacob et al.
Our weird little love triangle.
Yes, in Forks, Washington.
That's the
where
place.
There's no forking happening anywhere. So we had the introduction of the third member of our love triangle.
Well, he had been introduced, but he was badly misused by Bella in the previous one, as we discussed.
Yeah, in the first one, he was just kind of, hey, he was a childhood friend that she hung out with, maybe played with when they were little kids.
Right.
He was like the neighborhood kid that you played with.
Yep.
But now
she's playing with his emotions.
In number 2, she's playing with him. That's good. That's good.
She's still playing with him, but he don't want to be played, Trent.
He wants something else played with. But that's the R-rated version,
which we are not getting.
We're not getting that here.
It's very disappointing.
So now you were going to ask me a question.
Yes. So the burning question that everybody wants to know, Trent, because we've said this a few times, you had only ever seen Twilight.
Yeah.
So now you've seen 2 of them.
And I had no reference to what this other Jacob character was. I just thought he was just kind of a weird kid who showed up every so often.
So now you know Jacob. So the question on everybody's minds, do you have a stance? Are you Team Edward or are you Team Jacob? Or is it too soon to decide that information?
It is too soon to decide. But if I had like my gut reaction with the information that we have, especially coming right off of 2, because Jacob is very much the immature one of the bunch. He's literally younger than she is.
Right, but is he
Edward
immature?
is not. Edward is not younger. He has been around forever, but he's just this sad little emo boy.
Correct.
And Jacob is this young, immature boy.
Again, is he immature though? Because I feel like
Yes.
he is more mature for his age than most of his derpy little friends.
Barely. I wouldn't even go that far.
Okay.
I would not go that far. So just based on what I know and what we've seen in that episode, he's going through some shit. And so is she. Now, those two are on a much more even keel, but Jacob has some fucking anger issues.
He does. But that's not his fault. He's going through werewolf puberty.
He is, and we referenced that in the last episode. But like for this time for Bella, neither of them are good.
No.
Neither of them are good.
I'm just asking if you had to pick, if you were firmly joining a camp right now.
Oh, God.
Or even tentatively joining a camp right now.
Where, like, Bella is choosing her
She
her
must
life mate.
choose. Do you have a position?
I would say, right this moment, I would choose Team Jacob.
Okay. So we'll see if that changes because we don't have the full story and these characters are still going to grow and develop.
I fully reserve the right to change my mind if Jacob turns out to be even worse.
Yeah, because we've seen some of these shows where people are not who they end at a very different place in their arc than where they started.
Right.
So yes, you are welcome to change your mind. So the way the movie ended, we still had Victoria, the other vampire, is still out there and still wants revenge.
Which was kind of a strange thing that she was just kind of
it.
floating around because, hey, this is a reminder that she's still out here, but we're not going to address that now.
No, so she's still out there. We met the Voltari.
Yeah.
So they're kind of a new question mark. We don't know what's going to happen there. They're sort of an impending threat. And
the fact that there's only like 3 dudes who are members of this, maybe that expands a little bit in this one and later. Maybe there's a vampire council that they're a part of, and it's a bigger thing. I don't know.
Right. And we kind of figured that some point we're going to get graduation. So now that we're in the midpoint, and at last movie we were entering senior year, I have to imagine we're getting to graduation in this movie. Come on.
Yeah. So
we're getting to the middle. It's got to happen eventually.
So, and how we left the movie, Bella was trying to convince Edward to turn her, and his sister had seen the fact that she was going to turn into a vampire
vision
eventually.
Yep.
Whenever that happens to be, we don't know. But at the very least, she still looks pretty young. Mm-hmm. Edward says, okay, give me 5 years. And then let me get used to the idea for 5 years, and then we'll talk about it again.
Let you have your youth.
Yes. And then he comes down to, okay, 3 years. Fine. You stupid, stupid girl.
But then he cuts back even more and has a single condition.
Exactly. He says, okay, let's do it. I'll be the one to do it, and I'll do it how you want, but marry me.
And that was the end of the movie.
Credits.
So the question is, do we pick up exactly where we left off? Does she immediately say yes? Does she hesitate? Does she make him wait for an answer? Where are we?
So here's a question. You're asking all these questions now. Do you remember how
I don't remember shit. These movies did not make a huge impact on me.
Fair enough. All right. So
I know there is a wedding. I just do not know if it is this movie or the next movie. I feel like it's the next movie. If it is a more traditional young adult novel, they will milk that as long as they can.
Yeah, I have to imagine that what I think is that it is going to happen in this movie, where they're going to make she is going to make the transition at the end of this movie.
At the end of this
movie. You cannot have an entire movie where we don't have a progression on any of these big questions.
Right.
Like, we got introduced to Jacob in the last one. We got to know him and his deal and his clan. We already know what Edward's deal is and his clan. Mm-hmm. Now this is going to be more about Bella and what she is going through to make this choice.
Yep.
Now, I fully believe she is going to end up with Edward at the very end, but she's going to be torn about the entire thing the whole way.
Right.
And there's going to be strife between the two of them. There's going to be fights, and she's going to be put in danger, and it's going to be a whole thing.
I was just going to say, she's going to be in danger, and there's going to be a love triangle, and it's going to be her just so awkward and clumsy and charmingly befuddled.
But this being the third movie, and of course the next one is only one book, but it's separated into 2 different parts. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how you do 5 movies when it's 4 books.
Oh, they do it all the time, stretching it out. They did it with Harry Potter. They do it with this. They did it with Game of Thrones. Like, come on.
Yeah. But again, I don't really know what the big things are. There's got to be more people that die. I don't know how the hell Bella's dad survives this entire thing.
He's stupid.
He's very stupid
and ignorant of what's going on around him.
Because like everything is surrounding him.
Yes.
Like, we got the vampires surrounding Bella. We got the werewolves surrounding him on, like, he's got a bunch of buddies who are in the werewolf clan. Like, he's all around it. How is he not dead?
Because he's so just, innocent and stupid that they just kind of leave him alone.
He's also a cop.
I don't know.
He's also a cop.
I don't know.
I'm not going to kill a cop, Betsy. I don't know. But anyway, let's go watch this damn third movie in the Twilight series, Eclipse. We will be right back. And we're back. Eclipse. Did you stare into the eclipse, Betsy?
No, because you're not supposed to do that.
It's not supposed to do that. Come on.
No.
Get it right. Betsy, what'd you think?
I think of the 3 we have watched so far, this is by far the best one.
Give this one the award for most improved.
Right, because 2 reasons. One, there's actual character development, like we get some backstory about characters that have just been in the background.
Yep.
And 2, there's an actual plot. There's a mystery, a plot that is the whole story versus us just hearing Bella whine about Edward for 2 hours and then 15 minutes of action at the end.
I mean, we got that.
I mean, we did, but there was other stuff to pay attention to.
Yeah.
And an actual mystery that needed to be solved.
Sure. There was like a rising tension here.
Yes, as opposed to what I've said in the last 2, where it was nothing, action, end of movie.
Yeah. We got from the very beginning a mystery. Like, it was the first shot. It started in a very, very dark place. We had somebody who was going to turn into a vampire, not by their own will, of course.
And we don't know who this person is.
We don't know who the turner is. We don't know who the person turning is. And it's this mystery up until the very end, even though the actual solution to that mystery was very, very obvious.
Well, and how they figure it out is a little too convenient. Like, it comes to her in a dream. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Right. It's super... oh, man. It's... Again, these are novels and movies for young adults. You can't really get that much, like, subtext and, like, hints, and whatever else. It's meant to be understood.
Right, but...
There's no nuance here.
No, it's just all very convenient, is what I'm saying.
Totally.
But yes, I thought this one was the most interesting. It has some cool action sequences, so there's something to look at. Like I said, we learn more about Jasper, we learn more about Rosalie.
Yeah.
We get actual character development that we didn't have on those 2 people who have just sort of been in the background for 2 whole movies.
Yeah, and like Jasper was like this mute, just standing in the background, not saying a damn thing.
Hardly.
And like he had a kind of a monologue, like explaining how they're going to fight. And it's the most that he's actually said in 2 movies combined.
Well, and of course you're like, how the hell does he know all this? And then they actually explain to you how he knows all this.
And that's cool. I just wish they would have done it earlier.
Right. We have gotten incredibly little character development, and we are now 6 hours into these movies.
Right. And I understand that these other people are not the focus of these movies. We should be getting more of a history with Edward and Bella and Jacob.
Right.
But these other guys are important too.
Okay, but here's the other thing I noticed now that we're in this movie.
Yeah.
The juxtaposition of, okay, here's who Jasper is, here's how he was turned, here's how he knows this information, here's Rosalie, this is what's going on with her, we got a little about Carlisle, we've gotten a little bit about Edward, we're learning all these things, we're learning about the lore of the tribe and the history of the tribe, and then there's Bella, who has no interests, no defining characteristics, no hobbies, no talents. Her entire personality is her obsession with Edward.
Yeah.
And it's not as obvious until you get to this movie when you're developing the rest of the characters.
All of these other people are interesting.
She has nothing
Bella
going on.
Bella is a shell of a person.
Yes.
And she's just kind of a vessel.
She is woefully undeveloped.
And these 2 groups are basically trying to hoist their whatever
belief system, so to
onto
speak.
her and have her join their clan, whatever that happens to be. But we still don't know an answer to one question. Why is Bella special?
No, because I have no fucking clue. There's nothing there.
No. Why is she, like, the most desired being in the tri-state area.
Yeah, she is wanted by the little horny teen boys. She is wanted by the vampires. She is wanted by the wolves. She is wanted. Why? She is so fucking boring.
And she's also very intriguing by the authority.
Yeah, they all want to know what her deal is.
Yeah.
And I don't give two shits because when you actually stop and think about it, she's not interesting.
We are entering the finale of this damn series. Mm-hmm. We have 4 and 5 left, but it's just one story. And they're really going to have to close this out very quickly because there's got to be something. There's got to be something. Come on.
Give me any defining characteristic that makes her an interesting heroine for this 5-part movie series.
Right. And
anything.
I understand the whole thing with Edward, like finding her to be the only thing that is getting him to survive. And I get that Jacob is attracted to her because he grew up with her kind of, and she's certainly cool with all the weird shit happening.
Yep.
But like, what else? What else? Why in his 108 years on this planet has he not found someone to actually be with?
It's destiny, I guess. Because, this is a romance.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, that is the thing that I keep looking in this movie to try to see if there's any kind of clues. And there is one little thing that I want to talk about before we start covering the movie. It's about the Volturi, and Dakota Fanning is their leader, that isn't Michael Sheen.
Right, so she's not their leader, but she's like the leader of the group that is suddenly in Washington.
This splinter group coming to investigate what's happening.
Supervising the action.
Sure. So she's there and observing everything. They could stop whatever this is happening.
Yes.
They're choosing not to.
Correct.
There's gotta be a reason for that. Because she said it herself. We can either stop this or let them do what they were made to do. Mm-hmm. And they don't know what they were made to do yet.
Except they do. That's the thing. To
create an army for what?
They know a lot more than they let on is the whole point.
Sure.
They show up conveniently 30 minutes after the battle is over. They're always a little bit too late, even though they don't have to be.
Right. So I think, yeah, you're right in that they know more than what they're letting on here, but I wish they would have revealed more, I guess.
That's what the 4th and the 5th movies are for, I suppose. It's the growing doom, the growing force that is hovering over this movie franchise. Is what is their deal and how does this come to a head?
I guess.
Because the one up until this point is Victoria. And in this movie, we resolved that.
Yeah, she's done.
So, what next?
And not only did they end her, they recast her as well.
They sure did, Trent. But we're going to get to that in a second.
Yeah, so let's just kind of go over everything here. From the very beginning, we said it's kind of a dark thing. It starts in Seattle. There's this dude who is attacked by a vampire, and he is left to just change and be devoured by this poison, this venom.
Yep.
From a vampire.
Turned.
He is turning. And that's kind of where that is left. We understand that this person is turning into a vampire, and that's about where we leave it. But then they start sprinkling clues in as to who this person is
and what he's up to.
What his deal is. When in reality, he's a guy who went missing a year ago. Mm-hmm. So I guess this maybe happened a year ago?
Yeah, so this is in the past, or we do a time jump immediately.
Sure. So we don't actually know. Was that actually Victoria who changed him?
Yes, they give you that information later. You just don't see it happen.
Okay.
Because she basically tricks him. She picks this guy who is from Forks, who has been missing for a year, because he knows the area, and he'll do what he's told.
I guess it actually has been a year since they've been together, since the first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has been a year. So, all right. That was kind of my hang up. It's like, really? It's been a year?
Since
then? Okay, fine. And like just going back a little bit, like they're sprinkling in like clues about who this guy is. He's been gone for a year, and there's been a string of murders around the Seattle area, which is not where Forks is. I guess it's the closest big city.
Right.
From Forks. So I guess he's actually from Forks?
Yes, he is from Forks, and that is why Victoria picked him, because he knows the area, and he knows he can be an asset to her in finding and getting Bella.
She is influencing him to go around and turn a bunch of other people, turn them into vampires. And I guess this is kind of an interesting thing. When vampires, or when people are turned into vampires, they're at their strongest when they turn, because they actually have a bunch of human blood still in them from when they were alive.
Yes, so the newborns are the most dangerous vampires.
That's an interesting twist.
Yeah, so again, development. We're learning something.
Yeah, this stuff is the most interesting stuff when it comes to vampire lore, vampire fiction.
Yeah, and they give you the things like they're bloodthirsty and dangerous, and they don't follow the rules, and they're incredibly strong, and they can crush you in one squeeze.
They can just give you a big old hug.
Yeah, so they're very, very dangerous and uncontrollable, which is why they're a threat.
And of course, they're not going to tell you that unless they're going to use that power on somebody later. But we'll get to that later.
So yeah, that's how the movie starts. And then, of course, we get Bella's narration of reading high school poetry again. And we find out that she has not agreed to marry Edward. He is continuing to ask her. And she's all, I'm 18 and I can't get married now. I'm so young.
Marry me.
No.
Marry me.
No.
No, the second one is change me.
Yeah. They have this back and forth because it's, again, all she talks about and all she thinks about is changing into a vampire.
Like a little teenager would.
She is fixated.
I am fixated on this one thing, and until I get it, I'm not going to shut up about it. Mm-hmm. Like, a little spoiled brat who, I don't know. I mean, I've known quite a few kids who are the product of divorce. And I'm not blaming them for this, but a lot of them get that mentality where one parent is going to be the one that is like doting upon them and giving them everything that they want, and the other parent is trying to keep up with that. I'm not saying that this is a similar thing, but it is an attitude.
No, but children of divorce tend to be more wary of marriage in general.
And that was the next thing I was going to say. Like, when he is, like, putting on the hard sell about getting married later in the movie, she is very standoffish about it.
Like the whole institution.
Do you even believe in the institution of marriage? Because I remember, hey, she is the product of divorce. Mm-hmm. So, or a child of divorce, I should say. So, that does affect people.
Yeah.
Whether you see it on the surface or not, it does leave its mark.
Right. And it was about this point in the movie that I made an observation that I carried through the entire thing, and it bothered me literally every second of this movie.
Was it that he just stopped sparkling when he's out in daylight most of the time?
No, Trent, it's the fact that Kristen Stewart is very obviously wearing a wig, and it's real bad.
Yeah, I knew that's where you were going, but I wanted to throw that in there.
No, she is. I was trying to look at this. So in 2010, when this came out, this was about the time she made The Runaways, where she played Joan Jett.
And Joan Jett has very short hair and always has been.
Right. So I have a feeling that I'm trying to remember back. I think she cut her hair for that movie. She had like the fashion mullet going on.
Sure.
And so it was a requirement that if she's making two movies, she had to have the matching hair, which she didn't have anymore.
Yeah.
But this wig's bad. It is not natural looking. Her part is completely different. Her forehead is smaller. It's bad.
It also changes.
It changes. It's very distracting. This entire movie, all I kept looking at was her fucking hair. And it drove me insane.
All right.
Every minute of this movie.
And me being me, I never noticed it. If you didn't say something, I wouldn't have noticed it.
But once I said it, did you notice it?
Yes.
The whole movie?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. Anyway, I just needed to touch on that.
Also, did you notice that he was playing with her hair a little bit?
Edward?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I think it was in that meadow scene, if not a little bit later in the movie.
Like, we need to make you think this is real, so he's gonna touch it.
Yes.
Please don't.
Yeah. So she goes back home, and then we kind of are reestablishing what home life is for her and her dad. She's still grounded.
She is.
Because of what happened in the second movie. And he's basically saying, well, I guess your boyfriend is getting a lot more punctual because you showed up exactly when I said you should be here. And like, he's not really into Edward, the whole them thing.
What practical father
Yeah.
would be supportive of his 18-year-old daughter being this unhealthily obsessed with a single thing? That thing is her boyfriend.
And he saw
like, she is single-minded.
What she went through when he went away.
Right. So he has very justifiable reasons for not liking this arrangement.
Absolutely. Regardless of how creepy and weird he is.
And also, at no point have we really seen Edward try to make an effort. Like, they don't have fucking family dinners. They don't sit down. He doesn't come in the house and pick her up for prom and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They don't do the normal things that teenage boys do, which is like hang around in the doorway and make small talk with dad.
Yeah, you're right, but
He has made zero effort to get Charlie on his side.
he has had conversations with him, though.
Very briefly.
Very briefly, he did call the house and ask for him in the last movie.
And he wasn't there.
And he wasn't there. But I'm saying that there is some kind of chivalrous thing where he is, and then they refer to it when they're talking about marriage and courtship. He is very old-fashioned.
Yep, I would ask your dad first.
But he's also realistic about, I can't come to family dinner because I can't eat.
So find another activity, like fucking A.
Go to mini golf.
Yeah, just like clean guns with dad and drink beer. I don't give a shit. Do an activity.
Can't drink beer, Betsy.
Okay, you're telling me this dad who has had the same can of beer in his hand every single movie would not be okay with the kids drinking in the house?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying Edward literally cannot drink beer.
He could hold it and look interested. Pretend to drink it and go, delicious.
Hold it up and regard it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Charlie is not an observant human being. I don't think he'd really know the difference.
Yeah. But Dad, again, doesn't really like Bella hanging out with Edward all the time, but he's allowing it to happen because he wants a happy daughter.
Right. And he says, I'll unground you.
If you start hanging out with your other friends, also, wink, wink, nudge,
Specifically.
nudge. Also, go and hang out with Jacob, your friend who actually really likes you, and I know really likes you because his family can't shut up about you.
And the one that I like because I know him and he's good for you and you should date him.
Matchmaker.
That's exactly what's happening here.
Yeah. But I guess a little bit later than this, they show up at the cop shop for some reason. I don't know why they went there, other than just to drop her off.
Yeah, just to have it's just to have a scene where they're there, where Dad says, "Oh, this is that guy Riley. He's been missing for a year." It's just to give you some background.
That's right. Because that's her, the parents in there showing them the photo and putting up flyers.
Yeah, he's been trying to help them for a year.
Yeah,
and
he's again,
local.
It's a very convenient thing and blah, blah, blah.
Right,
so.
And Edward's like, we're keeping tabs on it. Like they're fucking detective vampires.
I mean, they are. They are. But it's also revealed here that the Cullen family bought round-trip tickets to Florida for Bella and Edward. To go on a little trip.
So that she can see her mom, because of course the looming event is they're going to turn her into a vampire, which means she won't be able to see her dad anymore or her friends or her mom. And so they always like speak in code. He's like, it might be the last time you see her before graduation.
Yeah.
And so they go to Florida and we hear this bullshit story she's told her mom about how she's going to the University of Alaska for college. The place that high schoolers pick for college.
Yeah, it's the place where there's no sunlight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's where they're from anyway, right? That's where they came from.
Yeah, they said they came from Alaska. So they probably just like moved back and forth down the Pacific Northwest.
They just kind of hop around the different schools and change their names.
And Canada and just, where it's dark and wet.
Yes. But it's all a ruse. So they go down to Florida. They have their little nice thing with their mom. And I thought it was a really nice thing because she talked about the fact that they went on road trips a lot with her and her family. And they bought T-shirts, apparently, of all the little, like...
Podunk towns.
Yeah, the podunk towns and the tourist traps, like... Go to whatever the highway attraction is. You buy a T-shirt. And she saved all of them and made her a quilt.
Yes.
That was a really sweet thing.
It was
for
a
mom
gift.
thing to do. Yeah, I really like that.
And she's trying to convince her, you should go to school in Florida, not Alaska. But
There's so much sunlight here.
aren't you going to miss this?
Vitamin D.
Yep. And again, the looming thing is we're going to turn Bella into a vampire. So when they say, aren't you going to miss absorbing all this vitamin D? She's like, yeah, I will miss this. Because the viewer, understand.
I don't think I got that.
But yeah. But of course, it's all a ruse because what's actually happening is Alice has had a vision up in Forks that Victoria is back, or she's gonna be back, and so she shows up and the entire Cullen group is chasing her through the woods.
Yeah.
And it's a different actress. They have recast Victoria. All of a sudden, it is someone of relevance. It is Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah.
For no explicable reason other than we just decided this movie needs more gravitas.
We need someone who can act.
Yeah. She's got a good react face, a good, like, sad crying face. And
yeah, but you know what? She wasn't really even on screen all that much.
She really wasn't. And she's just there as another plot device for other people.
Sure.
So, like, she jumps the gorge and ends up in the werewolf's territory.
Yeah.
And then Emmett follows her, and this causes conflict because Jacob has to go to the school and say, you guys, we're on our land, and if you do that again, we're gonna kill you. Blah.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep your shit out of our territory. Yeah. And like there was even a line there where they say, "Oh, these two guys, they had a misunderstanding."
Yeah.
Like, shut up.
But, this is the first time Jacob has talked to Bella in weeks, ever since the events of the first movie.
Yeah.
He's just like, I have nothing to say to you. And finally she's like, well, I have stuff to say to you. So she just straddles him on the back of his motorcycle.
Right.
And goes for a little ride.
Yeah, they go for a little ride and they get alone again, which I made this note. It says, Jacob only tells her how he feels when he's alone with her.
Yes.
He can't just be honest with her at all times. He has to have like an event, like he has to get her alone. He has to get her back to here, where I'm going to confess my undying love for you, but then not really.
Right. He holds back a lot.
Yeah.
And here he's mostly just giving more exposition because he's talking about, I didn't even want to be in this tribe, and all of the time now it's, we have these new members, and I have to hear because we can read each other's thoughts.
Yeah.
That there's this whole love triangle situation, but it's not that simple because he imprinted on this woman.
Right.
And he explains all about imprinting and how it's just like, it's totally different. It's just like love at first sight kind of a thing.
Which that just kind of flew over my head. That whole explanation. It's
mostly you need this information later. I'll just leave it at that.
We're like just throwing things out here. We're introducing new people,
new concepts and new information.
Yeah, without really explaining it all that well.
No, but it will be explained. We're going to move on from this because
I need you to explain imprinting to me.
Basically, it's different. It's literally like love at first sight, but it's more than that. It's you look at somebody and immediately there's this bolt of lightning where you love them and you have to protect them and they are the only thing in the world.
So it's like you do this at will to
No, it's not at will.
Okay.
No, it just happens.
Okay.
Most people don't, but sometimes in this culture they do.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense.
Jacob has not imprinted on Bella.
Yeah.
He just loves Bella.
Sure, fine.
There's a difference.
There isn't like a chemical thing happening here.
No, imprinting is more chemical and more this is it.
Yeah.
Like, this is fucking destiny.
Sure.
And there is nobody else and will never be anybody else in the world for me.
Yeah.
That is how intense imprinting is.
Yes. Okay, I get it.
Okay.
But then Bella reveals, oh yeah, after graduation. She keeps going back to this whole after graduation thing.
Yep.
Because she reveals that, yeah, I am going to be turned. Mm-hmm. And Jacob,
in like a month.
Jacob has another tantrum. He cannot control his anger. He throws some shit and he says, I would rather you be dead than be a vampire.
Yep.
That's fucked up.
I mean, again, his entire existence is to kill vampires.
Yeah.
It's all about...
I get it.
Listen, you could write a whole essay about race and prejudice and preconceived notions because there's this whole, they're a vampire, they're a werewolf.
Sure.
And that's all I care about.
They're the other.
They're the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's mostly what it is. Like, this is his existence. This is it. I love you and I don't want this for you.
Yeah, if I don't hate them, then my own culture will disown me.
Yeah.
That kind of a thing.
I have to hate you.
Yeah.
If you do this.
So that sucks.
Indeed it does.
That whole thing sucks. And I'm not saying, oh, it sucks for them because blah, blah, blah. No, that whole idea that you would be shunned for acceptance, not even loving them, just acceptance of another kind of a person or a race or whatever.
Like I said, you could write a fucking essay about this. Maybe it would actually be interesting. More so than this movie.
Betsy, is Twilight racist?
I mean, it could be.
I think Twilight's a little racist.
I have some more things I'll bring up later.
All right.
But
let's move on.
The next thing we see is the Riley guy, the new vampire, is in Bella's house.
Yeah.
And he's like snooping around in her room and staring at her dad while he sleeps on the couch. And of course, when Bella gets home, Edward is there and he immediately figures out something's up here. I can smell it. There was another vampire. Something is going on. And there's this whole reveal, like, this is a stranger and we don't know who he is.
Yeah.
He clearly is from Seattle because that's something we can figure out.
Yeah. So they start talking about it and they decide, you know what? Let's like form an alliance here. Mm-hmm. Because we are probably going to be outnumbered and we're going to need to protect Bella.
Yep.
Because clearly they're going to be after Bella because they took something of hers, and they're going.
Well, and they don't know they took something.
I guess not yet, not yet. So this is where we start with the whole like dick waving contest between Jacob and Edward, because outside of their house they get up on each other and they start almost fighting, and then Bella chimes in with a lovely line.
More well-crafted dialogue from this series.
She says, knock it off, or something to that effect. From now on, I'm Switzerland.
And of course, Edward has another quip about Jacob. Doesn't he own a shirt?
Doesn't he own a shirt? That's a little bit later, but yeah.
Yeah, but they kind of just trade off like protecting her because they know something is going on here. So Jacob takes her back and she gets insider information, the stories from the tribe that no outsider has ever heard before.
Sure.
And we have to be told because it's relevant later.
Yeah.
So this was the point where I had this thought. These books are written by Stephanie Myers. Or Stephanie Meyer. It doesn't matter.
Whatever.
She's a very white woman.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here watching this lore about a Native American tribe being recited by Native Americans, but it was written by a white woman. And that just feels really wrong.
You know, it
feels
could
very
be wrong.
Culturally wrong.
It could be wrong. There's a very good chance that it is very wrong. But unless I have more details, I'm going to reserve judgment.
And I know it's all like story and stuff, but it's like,
yeah,
I don't know. Bothers me. Feels wrong.
Yeah.
In this one more than the others.
And you know, it is all. If she was like appropriating real life Native American history and tribes names and other stuff like that, and putting that on these people and like changing history in order to fit her narrative, that's different.
Okay.
But if this is all fucking fake and this is just the one tribe of Native Americans that turns into
that
into
she
werewolves.
made up, and they're all magic.
Yeah, if that's, I mean, again, I think, yes, I'm going back to what I said. I think Twilight is a little racist at the very least.
It's at least, it's getting close to the edge.
Yeah, and we'll see what the rest of them entail here, but yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm glad we're like in agreement on this. We both get a little bit of an icky feeling.
There's something there. But my big question here, while she's just sitting there taking all this in, why are they doing this? Why are they letting Bella, of all people, this pasty white girl, 18 years old, who, you know, has known his, like, Jacob's family pretty much her entire life, at least from a young age. Why are they doing this?
Genuinely, I believe it is just because you, the viewer, need to know this information later. Because what she's told in this story, she acts on and recreates later.
Okay.
And if they don't tell you this story and she's
that.
not there, she would never have that idea at the end, and that's how we save the day.
I see.
So it's literally just like a Chekhov's gun thing where we need to hear this, so we're going to say, she is there, and she's a special outsider, and here you go, kids.
Okay, fair enough.
Genuinely, I think that is entirely the point of this, and nothing else.
If I didn't have that information that you just said, what my assumption would have been is that the tribe is trying to make this match happen between Jacob and Bella.
Maybe.
Where they're inviting her in and letting her hear these things that nobody has ever heard before.
Hear both sides of the story.
Right. Mm-hmm. They just don't want Bella to go down that other path.
Right.
At the very, very least, they just don't want her to become a vampire.
Yeah.
Fine.
That is also a valid interpretation of that.
That's what my assumption has been throughout this
I
entire
think it's
movie.
simpler than that. I think it's literally, we need an excuse to give you guys this information.
Sure, and that's fair. But I do enjoy in this movie that they're actually acting this out. They're having these little vignettes off to the side as flashbacks to the history of these people.
Yeah, we're not just telling you, we're actually showing you.
Yeah,
here's the first time this tribe met a vampire,
right?
And they killed the vampire, but they were afraid that he wasn't alone.
Yeah.
And then his partner, she came back and fucked up the whole tribe.
Yeah.
And the only reason they were able to stop it was because the chief's wife stabs herself and distracts the vampire long enough to be killed.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is where we came from, and this is why we have, ever since then, reinforced we're wolves, and we're gonna kill these vampires.
Sure, fine.
The end.
Yep.
We decided, and that's the way it's gonna be.
Yeah. So anyway, after that, we get the revelation that it is Victoria actually making these vampires.
Right, and they're making an army.
They are making an army.
To what end? To get Bella.
Yeah.
Because that's all Victoria cares about.
Right. Bella and the Cullen family.
Yep.
Because they took her partner away.
Mm-hmm. She has spent
it's as simple,
2 movies brooding about this.
It's as simple as that. Revenge.
Yes. We have been hammering on about Victoria for 2 whole movies.
Yeah.
She wants revenge.
Yep.
And now, goddammit, she's gonna get it.
Yep. So we have this meeting with all the Cullens, and they're trying to make this strategy. And I think Jacob is there too.
He shows up eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere in here we have a graduation finally, but it's so minor to the plot that it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And then it's also revealed that the authority, the Voltairies, they want Edward to join them.
Yeah.
That's just kind of dropped out of nowhere and not really talked about again.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about the exact sequence in there because it's just sort of thrown into the conversation.
Right.
But yeah, it's about this point in the movie that Jacob says, I love you, Bella. You love me too. You just won't admit it. And then he kisses her and she punches him in the face.
And she breaks her hand.
Well, she sprains her hand. But yeah, again, some glorious dialogue where he's just like, I kissed her, she punched me in the face, and she broke her hand.
But yeah, Jacob he speaks so cryptically. He especially did it in the first couple of movies.
Because he's like, I can't tell you about myself, but now you know. But I can't tell you. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a secret.
Until he doesn't. Then it's just like word vomit.
And then it just explodes all over her. Mm-hmm. It's stupid. Metaphorically, of course. PG-13.
This is a PG-13. But yeah, he just like, I love you, you love me, get it out, like trying to get it out of her, egging her on to like, get it out of her.
Which, you know what? I still think that's kind of shitty. Like, that's almost bullying.
Yeah.
Like bullying someone into telling you how they feel about you. When whatever the answer might be could be the wrong answer, or not the wrong answer,
not
but
the one you want.
Not the one you want.
Yeah.
If she were to come out and say, no, stop, just fucking stop.
But she kind of does, but she never definitively does, so he keeps trying. Because again, she's a bad friend who leads him on.
Yeah, she doesn't say the words, I don't love you.
She says, I love Edward, or I love Edward more, or I don't love you that way. Like, she keeps saying everything without saying it.
Yeah, it's not definitive.
No.
Right, and in all that conversation between those two, he keeps comparing himself directly with Edward, saying, you know, he'll never be able to keep you warm. He'll not be able to give you a normal life. You won't be able. You'll still be able to see all your friends and family and whatever else. It'd be so much easier with me. And why not just take the easier path?
Mm-hmm. I agree, Bella, because you know what? You are a hollow human being, and you seem to just go along with whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he really seems like he is gonna take care of you.
Yeah.
In one way or another, but he's also got a lot of anger issues. I cannot get over that.
Again, it's not entirely his fault. He's a hot-headed teen who also happens to be a werewolf.
It's true.
It is not entirely his fault. He does need to work on that, though.
He does. And then after all these revelations between these two, we're finally getting to the point where they're going to start strategizing.
Like, we know the army's coming,
yeah,
what do we do?
The army's coming, what do we do? So we're going to create this scent trail.
Begin the training sequence.
The training montage.
Yep, we have a training montage. We have a little truce. The wolves are going to help the vampires. We're all going to put our differences aside. And we find out the backstory about some of these characters, but their whole plan is they're going to take Bella somewhere else.
Yeah.
But they have to lure the vampires to that open field.
With her scent and her blood and everything else to get them into the field so it's a more fair fight. But in reality, Jacob is actually going to take Bella up to this hidey hole on top of the mountain where the wolf scent will overpower her scent.
Yes, because they can't track her because they keep talking about wet dog smell.
Well, yeah, and I wrote down, like, stop talking about how smelly each other is.
Well, one smells like death and one smells like wet dog. So
which is worse?
Pick your poison.
Yeah.
Bella, really, sweetie? This is what you enjoy? Okay, whatever.
Right. I understand, like, a man musk, but this is too much.
This is too much. Yeah, and, like, there's, like, a whole thing about Jacob saying that he let Sam be the alpha. He didn't even want to be in a pack, so he could have led the pack, but he's like, nah.
And is that even real, or is that just him posturing for her?
It's probably real, but who cares?
I feel like that's fake.
At this point, you know, he's just like carrying her in his big, strong arms, talking about how I know how I make you feel physically.
It's like, yes, I can feel your penis.
I can feel you quivering in my big, strong arms.
Like, no, I can feel your penis while you're carrying me. It's all over me. Knock it off.
Yeah, and here's where things get real interesting. Because for the first time in the Twilight series, we start alluding to the concept of sex.
Yes.
Dad!
I stopped the fucking movie and asked Betsy, is this the first time in 2.5 movies where we actually talk about sex?
But we don't say the word. We never say it.
We never say the word, but it is highly, highly alluded to.
Yes, Dad basically brings up the whole, you guys are, we want you to be safe. You don't want to have to get married because you have to.
She brings up the whole marriage thing. She asks the question, well, why didn't you get married? Did you like lose faith in the institution of marriage after you got divorced?
Right, and of course he kind of figures out like, oh God, she's asking because of these two.
These two are gonna try something.
And they sort of have the talk, and she's like, shut up. Oh my God, Dad, I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah.
And he's like, just be safe. Why are you talking about this?
So yeah,
I mean, she's like, I'm a virgin, Dad.
Right.
She just comes out and says it.
Right.
Edward is old-fashioned.
Sure.
And they just keep like saying it without saying it and making it as awkward as possible for everyone in that room.
All right, so 2 things from that. Number 1, Bella is a virgin.
Yes.
That's an important thing, I think.
We need to know this information.
That just comes out and is out there now.
It's out in the universe.
Yes. And the second thing is, they haven't done anything even off camera and out of the books or anything like that.
We just didn't see it.
It just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
So in other vampire stuff, I keep bringing up True Blood and other stuff.
It's because it's much sexier vampire story.
It is. It really is. And we've got a character in True Blood who was a virgin when she was turned into a vampire. And sex is very different when you're a virgin. I don't think I need to get into the details of that.
She's a virgin forever.
She's a virgin forever. There's something important there. Again, we're not going to get into it. But that's also a very important thing for the coming movies.
Yeah.
Where other things will happen. And that's where I'll leave that.
We assume eventually.
Yes, of course it's going to happen, Betsy.
Yeah, and this only comes up because they have given her dad this excuse that, oh, we're all going camping, and really what's happening is...
We're going to have a sleepover.
We're going to have a sleepover, but really, it's Edward and Bella having a sleepover, wink, wink.
Yeah, and they're going to have the house to themselves.
Oh, yes.
Wink, wink.
And Bella is, like, all up in his business.
Uh-huh.
And, like, I'll marry you, but I have my own condition. And she doesn't say it. She just starts kissing on him.
I want to fuck!
Yeah, and he puts a stop to it.
Yeah.
And he's like, if this were, I'm from a different time, and if this were my time, I would court you, and we'd have chaperone visits, and blah, blah, blah.
And I might sneak a kiss here and there.
And then he gets down on one knee, and he presents his mother's ring, and he asks her once again to marry him, but this time she says yes. And they're so happy!
But are they, though?
Sure, Trent, who the fuck cares?
Honestly, my suggestion was that she should just go and fuck Jacob to get that out of his system. And because clearly that's what he really wants. And then they can go and have whatever married time with Edward later.
I'm just saying, like, you almost broke your hand by punching him in the face. Like, it would not be bad.
Yeah, come on.
He's very powerful.
He's game.
He's ready for it. He's primed for this action.
Uh-huh. You felt him. You felt him all over you earlier, so you know he's ready.
You've just been, like, on his bare chest for 2 movies.
Yeah.
Like, when Edward says, doesn't he own a shirt? I mean, he barely wears one. So...
Yeah.
That's a fair question.
Yeah. So, yes, they have the proposal... and then this is where shit starts to actually go down.
Yep, the army's here.
Yep, we're going to go about all the business, and they take Bella up the mountain.
So here was an observation, is just, she has been carried by both of these people.
Yes.
Edward and Jacob.
Yes.
But when it's Edward, she rides his back. And when it's Jacob, she's carried. And one of those is more symbolically like, I'm gonna take care of you, versus I'm clinging on to you.
I could say...
If you want a really heavy-hitting metaphor about this movie...
I would say that is a pretty good metaphor for what's happening here, but it's also physics.
I'm just saying,
yeah.
it is a heavy-hitting metaphor of those 2 different relationships.
You're very right. You're very right. I like that.
But of course, when they get up to the top of the mountain, it's very, very cold at this elevation.
Yeah,
and she's shivering in her little tent.
What the fuck month is this anyway?
May. Because it's after graduation.
It's senior year.
It's
no,
after graduation.
It's after graduation.
Yeah, we already saw graduation at this point, so it has
That's
to
true.
be at least May, if not June.
It's true.
But we're up on a mountain, so we can justify snow.
That's true.
And it's
and
the
then it also
Pacific
goes
Northwest
away
where
right
it's
away.
not quite so warm.
Yeah, it goes away right away.
Well, no, because they're way up on top of the mountain in that scene. Bella and
guess.
Edward are way up in the elevation.
Yeah.
So there is a difference. I mean, look, we just went to Denver and we went up a
At
mountain.
At the end of April, we went up a mountain
and it was
started snowing.
And then we went back down. It was 55 degrees.
Yeah.
So this is a believable thing I don't have a problem with.
Fine.
But she's very cold and she needs the hot man meat to like warm her up.
Of course, they have their conflict again between those two guys.
Yes, this is the only time, this is the most civil conversation that Jacob and Edward have or ever will have with each other.
And of course, they're having the conversation while she is asleep. Like she's nothing. Like she is just this object that, like an animal or an object
to be
or whatever
possessed.
else, to be possessed. Yeah, they're like negotiating custody of this object.
Mm-hmm. She's going to choose me. No, she's going to choose me. She loves me more. Well,
Yeah.
she also loves me, so.
But you know what? At the very least, Edward is being diplomatic about everything. He's being pragmatic about everything.
He's also being honest. Like, I don't want this for her.
Right. I don't want this for her. I didn't make her do it. I tried to convince her otherwise. Mm-hmm. And he says, if Bella chooses you, then I'm not going to try to kill you. I'm going to allow her to be happy.
Yep.
Because if I killed you, she wouldn't be happy anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She would always remember that. So I'm not going to do that.
Right.
And vice versa.
Right.
But the next morning, he very easily allows Jacob to overhear a conversation they're having
About getting married.
about how they're getting married,
Yep.
which sets Jacob off again. He's
Yep.
stomping off in a tantrum like, I'm going to go get myself killed because
Right.
clearly this is all pointless. And she's like, no, don't go, stay. Like she literally says, Jacob, stay. It's like, okay, he is a wolf, but he is not a dog.
Fucking God.
Did you not notice that?
No.
Yeah, she was like, Jacob, stay! That was the first place my brain went.
Jesus.
Like, Jacob, no! Bad dog! Bad!
Come back! Come
Stay,
here! Kiss
sit,
me! Kiss
stay.
me!
And then,
Kiss me!
That's a kiss!
Yeah!
Like,
They're full on making out on that mountain.
There's some kissing happening there. And it's like, and that's the dude you don't want to be with? What is wrong with you?
And of course, Edward just lets it all happen.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Because again, Edward deep down is like, it would suck, but also I would be okay with you not being a vampire.
Right.
Like, you could choose this. That's
Right.
okay by me.
Right.
Because it means you're alive.
You would be protected and happy. But then she comes back down.
All
They have their
dazed
little
and confused.
They have their little talk. And she says, yes, I do love him, but I love you more.
Yep. I love you more.
Like you can quantify it.
At 18
Come on.
years old.
At 18 years old. Fuck off.
Fuck off.
Fuck off.
Yeah, and so then we get this big climactic scene. The army shows up. The Cullens beat them pretty easily. And Victoria does come to the battle and she sees that they're not there. So she finds Edward and he eggs her on and fights her while one of the other wolves takes care of Riley. Edward just, rips her head off.
Yeah.
As one does.
As he also kind of uses Bella as bait.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like she's about to escape and he eggs her on.
And he's
saying,
like, this is the best chance you're ever going to have.
This is the last chance you're going to ever have to get me. Mm-hmm. So come get me.
Yeah. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's go. And he wins.
Yeah.
Kind of easily.
Kind of easily. It's not a very long fight between those two.
No.
And
the scene of her earlier running through the woods went on a lot longer than this big fight scene where he wins the day.
Do you have a problem with how these vampires are dying?
Oh, how they're all like made of weird crystal?
Yeah, like you break their neck or you break their head and it's like glass breaking.
You hear glass breaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. They can just like punch each other's heads off and stuff. I don't know. And it's weird because they haven't done it much to this point.
No, there's a lot of death here.
The more they do it, the more absurd it's getting.
Right.
So, I don't know. Maybe it's just because we aren't used to this world where they're actually dying.
Yeah.
We haven't really seen it much.
Yeah.
And it happens so much that it's jarring. You're not wrong.
But yeah, I have a problem with that. Again, I know you're trying not to make it like super duper bloody and make it as PG-13 as you can. So I get it.
No,
it's
no blood.
Hard. It is really hard to have a vampire thing that is not rated R.
No, it really is because, like, if you think about, again, True Blood, there's so much blood in that show. Everybody at one point or another is covered head to toe in blood.
The main character is never not covered in blood or
not,
showering blood off.
I would say the main core group, every single core cast member of True Blood at one point or another is covered head to toe in blood.
Yes.
So, yeah, this is very PG-13, no blood. We needed to come up with something cool, so they're all made of crystal. Why not? Who the fuck cares?
Right, and in True Blood, when the vampires die, they kind of just turn into goop.
Yeah, they blow up. They melt.
They kind of melt into goop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just a pile of sludge.
Yeah, it's very much like a sludgy kind of a thing.
And here, you still have to burn the body.
And boy, do they burn.
They just light up like kindling.
Whoosh! Wow.
They're very dead. They're dry husks of human beings.
It's true.
So I guess they're quite flammable.
Well, their clothing is too, apparently.
Yes, that is exactly the kind of fashion they were going for. And it's at this point that Edward receives a telepathic message from Alice, I guess, because that's they can kind of read each other's thoughts or whatever.
Why not?
And the Volturi, Dakota Fanning and her little gang are coming. So they got to get down the mountain. So they got to regroup with everybody else. And they get down there. And there's still, like, one vampire left.
There's one straggler who is still trying to cause some shit.
Yep.
And this is where Jacob is still fighting. And he and one other werewolf are going after it. But the vampire actually grabs a hold of Jacob and gives him the big vampire hug that we talked about before.
He gets the big bear hug, and it breaks, shatters every bone
on one side of his body.
On one side of his body.
And because he heals very quickly...
Which, again, they have not mentioned to this point, but they're just like, they can heal quickly.
Sure, why not? Because all of those kinds of creatures can heal quickly. But... they say, his bones will set as broken if we don't do anything about this right away.
And then later, they actually have to re-break his bones.
Re-break every bone to reset it.
Them.
Which happens, like doctors have to do that sometimes.
Yeah.
They have to re-break your bones in order to get them to set correctly.
Mm-hmm. But of course, it's done by Carlisle.
Yeah.
So they actually have a moment where his dad shakes his hand.
Sure.
Because he's grateful.
Right.
To a vampire.
Right.
Which he never thought he would be. So there's like a little moment.
That was a nice moment.
But yeah, they have this big confrontation, and the Volturi is just like, you left one, like you didn't quite get that vampire, and we gotta clean up before we head back. I want to go home now.
Yep.
And they basically, at the end, conveniently like clean up the mess that they've let happen.
Right.
So again, we don't really know what their deal is. But they're out there.
Like what the real motivations
What's
are.
the motivation other than they want Edward and Alice on their team?
Sure.
So they're going to keep close tabs on them, certainly. And they're going to report back to the other guy that Bella is still a human.
Yep.
But she says, the date is set. We're doing it. It's a real thing.
Right. And you were talking about the one vampire that they didn't kill. Hey, you left one.
Yeah, she kind of flaked out and didn't want to fight.
Right.
So they just sort of let her be
and
alive.
they basically found her kind of on the sidelines saying, yeah, you clearly don't want to fight us, so what's your deal? Maybe we can get you on our side and have you join our clan.
We can help you.
Yeah. And I pointed out to you, that person looks really familiar, the actress, because I know I knew her face from something. And... dear listeners, you have heard me talk about this TV show quite a bit. It is my favorite show of all time. It forever will be. It is called Dead Like Me. The very first episode, if you've ever seen this show, you will know who this actress is. She is the girl at the very end of that episode that is the first person that has to be reaped by the new Grim Reaper. I won't go into the details here because you'd have to know the show to really
You'd have to have
understand
all
it.
the context, but it's the same actress.
This actress was like 5-6 years old in that show, if that.
Now she's like a teen.
Now she's a teenager, and my mind was fucking blown because of course, she has the same face.
Right.
She has a very distinctive face, I think.
Yeah, she's older, but it's the same girl.
Yeah. It was just kind of mind-blowing to me. Like, it's like, Jesus, I know that face.
Well, and then the kid who was with Dakota Fanning, I kind of
Right.
recognized him. It's the kid who was in Thank You for Smoking.
Right, the
He's
son.
Bobby Naylor. He's
Yeah.
the little boy.
Yeah.
And he does pretty much look the same, and he has the same sort of intonation to his voice, but instead of being up here, it's down here now because he's a man.
See, I didn't notice that. I love that movie, but I didn't notice it. I'll have to go back and
It's
watch
in
that.
his intonation. He has kind of a distinct speaking style.
Okay.
And I think that's what gave it away for me.
Okay.
So yeah, that was that moment, and they have to clean up, and
Yep.
they show them like grabbing her and throwing her. They don't actually show him killing her per se,
I'm pretty
but
sure
I'm
she's
assuming
dead.
that she's dead.
Pretty sure she's dead.
So then we get one final scene. Bella and Edward
Back
up
in
on
the
the
meadow.
mountain in the meadow,
Uh-huh.
surrounded by beautiful flowers, as they do, talking about the wedding and how she's just going to let Alice plan her entire wedding. Again,
Right.
because she has zero personality
Yeah.
and has no taste, no choices, no nothing.
And
She just rolls
she's,
with
of course,
it.
just fixated on what happens afterwards.
Yep.
After we're married, this is when it's going to happen.
Yeah, we're going to get to this. But she gives Edward this big speech about how she has always felt like a weirdo.
Right.
And she doesn't understand people, and she's always felt out of place.
She's not normal.
She's not normal.
So she wants to embrace the non-normality
Because-
of her life because she feels like this is going to be the way it is the rest of her life.
This is where she belongs.
Yeah.
It feels right when everything's fucked up for her.
Right now.
Yeah.
Girl, when I was 18 years old, I would not have guessed that I would have the life that I have now. And of course, that's half my life ago when I was 18 years old.
A young human.
Right. A lot of things have happened in the subsequent 18, 19 years since then.
Yeah, those are your formative years, but it's not who you are the rest of your life.
Absolutely not.
Like,
So
I
why
think-
would you ever want to lock in one very big thing for the rest of your life?
This is who I am, Dad.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then of course she says we have one more really scary, difficult thing to do before we go on this adventure. We have to tell my dad.
We have to tell Charlie.
We have to tell Charlie we're getting
She
married.
calls him Charlie
We
again.
talked about this.
I
yeah.
know.
She doesn't call him Dad outside of talking to his face. Like, he's always Charlie. It's a
Yeah.
weird back and forth thing. And then the movie's just over. It's over. No cliffhanger. No nothing.
Nope.
So one assumes that that's the next thing they do because we've resolved the major conflict from the last few movies.
Right. And I don't want to get into like conjecture as to what I think is going to be happening here. We'll save that for the intro for the next movie. But like as a whole, this movie is much better as a movie
Yes.
than the other two by a long shot.
Absolutely.
It is acted better. It is shot much better.
The script was not as painful. Like there were
There were some
there's
moments-
still some really awkward, stupid dialogue.
Yeah.
But overall, it's not as like eye-rollingly bad
Right.
as the first two.
They're not trying to force the bullshit from the books in there, is what I'm
No.
assuming. But the way the movie actually was shot, it didn't have the weird Dutch angles everywhere. It didn't have the spinning shots around everybody.
No, it was so extra.
It was like even the action scene at the end was actually shot pretty well. That looked good.
Like I said, it looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like we've got wolves and we've got people like throwing their bodies at each other. We didn't get to see much of it.
Yeah.
So it's not that relevant. All you
But-
need to know is they're winning.
But when we talk about action scenes, we've talked about this before. When you know when to cut and how to cut these action scenes quickly,
Yes.
it makes a huge difference. Because if you're not going to invest in the entirety being CG and having it look really, really good, and you're lingering on the shots too long, you have a real risk of having it look bad.
Especially when you have wolves that are completely CG, that
Right.
could look really bad very quickly.
Right, and there was one moment when they're on top of the mountain and Riley and the wolf were going at it. When like Riley is kind of being writhed back and forth by the
Dragged
wolf.
away.
Before he was even dragged away, that looked pretty bad.
Up on the mountain in general didn't look great.
Right, because
there was one
there's
scene where
no
it's like
mountain there. That's all green screen.
they're all on a set, and it's just like, here's two actors in front of a green screen looking at a fake wolf.
And a fake everything. It's a fake mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the one shot in the movie where I was like, ugh, that doesn't look good.
Yeah.
That looks almost as bad as her wig.
They couldn't fix that in CG.
They could not. I mean, they could, but they didn't bother. They didn't have the budget, Trent.
Oh, come on. Budget. These movies made so much fucking money.
They did.
Come on.
They really did. Yeah, I agree. This movie is just as a whole better. So I'm hopeful that that means, because once again, I don't remember the last couple, that they will, in their own way, at least stand on their feet and not be as painful as the first couple.
I really hope so, because there's gotta be, like, there's not gonna be like a cataclysmic event. There can't be, because there's gonna be a resolution here. Mm-hmm. One of these two dudes and clans is gonna win.
Someone's winning.
Yeah.
Someone gets to take home the gold.
Is it really gold, though? Because it's Bella Swan.
Maybe like one of those hollow chocolate eggs wrapped in gold tinfoil.
The chocolate bunny.
A chocolate bunny. That is Bella Swan. It's empty on the inside.
Oh. And of course, none of them actually get to do anything with her until she's married.
Yeah, they're
Like,
also old-fashioned. Like, get to the sex!
Come on.
I hate this.
And I was wrong. I thought that we were going to get her turned by the end of this movie. Nuh-uh.
No, they're going to drag that shit out. They're going to drag it out.
Yeah, because of course that's the big culmination. It's them getting married, it is them turning, and them fucking.
Yeah, just when does it all happen? We'll find out in another episode.
And that will be next couple of episodes. So Betsy, before we get out of here, we're going to read a couple of things we got from some listeners. First is going to be from Mitch from Saskatoon. He's actually emailing us about both Twilight and Weekend at Bernie's. Hello, long time, no email. As far as Twilight is concerned, the only vampire movie worth watching is What We Do in the Shadows.
That is absolute truth.
As far as a movie goes, you can't get much better than that movie.
It's so funny. It's such a good
And I'm
movie.
surprised that we haven't brought that up.
I feel like we've probably brought it up in some other episode.
We have.
But because it has nothing to do with the lore.
There's no romance in What We Do in the Shadows.
And there's no romance. It is full comedy and it's a bunch of dudes.
If you've never seen What We Do in the Shadows,
stop listening to us and go watch it.
go buy that fucking movie.
Just, yes, do
buy
yourself a you will want to watch it again. Go and get a copy.
Yeah.
Own it. Add it to your collection.
You will love it. Back to the email, of course. I played the Never Seen It Home Edition game for Weekend at Bernie's. All I can say is that you are correct. It is stupid, ups the ante, and is very funny as a result. I couldn't help but admire how the actor was able to play dead the whole time. What commitment! I didn't see a single place where I could tell otherwise. That is it. I love your episodes. When you loathe the movie, this Twilight series should be fun. From Mitch, from Saskatoon. That's in Canada, don't you know?
It's true. We had another feedback, a little comment about Weekend at Bernie's as well.
We wanted to throw in here.
So Rick sent us a note. I feel like this movie has the highest ratio of references to it to actually watched it of any movie. I've seen so many jokes about this movie and no one who ever talks about actually seeing it.
Right.
It's true. Like to Weekend at Bernie's somebody is a thing.
Since we've seen that movie and did an episode about it, I have seen not one, not two, but 3 different references to Weekend at Bernie's as a verb.
In completely different contexts.
Completely separate things.
Yeah, so it's the thing about this movie, it is one joke. It is one joke they stretch into a whole movie.
But they do it so well, they execute it so well, that it just works, and it's burned into the psyche.
Yeah, even if you've never seen it.
You know.
I knew what Weekend at Bernie's was.
Yeah.
And we only watched it because it's like, well, let's just see it.
Because everybody else references it.
So why don't we figure out what the hell it is they're referencing?
I referenced Weekend at Bernie's when we watched Cold Pursuit.
Oh, God, I forgot.
Yeah. They take a dead body and they pose him in like some promenade in like a mall somewhere.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right, Rick. There's so many cultural references to it because it's an easy joke. And it's just, how else do you describe that activity?
Yeah.
Like, it's such a phrase now.
I mean, you would have to create some kind of real term like necro something.
Yeah, it's now a verb, though, to weekend at Bernie's someone.
Right.
And everybody knows what you're talking about.
Oh, God.
So we are in the small contingent now that I suppose has actually seen this movie.
It seems like that. But yeah, going back to Mitch, agreed. The whole thing about this actor has to play dead the entire time, and you cannot break character. You cannot raise an eyebrow. You cannot wince when something is clearly hurting you.
If something hits you, you can't flinch.
You cannot react.
And you have to do it with your eyes open.
Yeah. In some capacity, your eyes have to be open, and you have to keep those sunglasses on somehow.
Correct. It's not easy to do.
Yeah.
You know what else was not easy to do? Get through 3 Twilight movies. But at least we are past the halfway point now and only have 2 left.
It's true, Betsy. We have done 3 movies. We have 2 left to go, but it's kind of one continuous story, I imagine. There's probably going to be some like time jumps in here, but we'll get into that when we talk about the intro to the next one.
But we want your thoughts on these movies.
Keep the Twilight comments coming in. We've got 2 more left to go. I want to have a pile of emails to get through for the last final episode. Whether it's about the entire series, whether it's about one movie, you can go ahead and just say what you think about the entire series if you want.
One moment in one movie.
I don't care.
Write me an essay. I don't care.
Doesn't matter. We're going to read it on the show. Please email us at neverseenitpod@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter, neverseenit_pod. You can support the show by clicking the link in the podcast description that talks about support. If you go to that page, you can sign up to throw us $1. You can also share this episode with your friends, share the entire podcast with your friends, send them individual episodes. I don't care. Just get people to listen to the show. But Betsy, that is it for this edition of Never Seen It. I want to thank you for being my co-host yet again for this trash.
It's all your fault.
And we will be back another time with another movie on Never Seen It. My name is Trent.
My name is Betsy.
And we'll catch you next time.
Bye, guys.